And today's episode will be covering women in business. Yes, it's Women Appreciation Month, and we'll be talking about the topic of women in business. You don't like? That's okay. So, if there's anything I want you to understand, is besides obviously me being a man, just showing appreciation to the women who hustle, who put themselves out there and achieve more and achieve great milestones, right? So, let's jump right into it. First thing, top boss women, right? Now, these are appreciation of the women that have their top positions in their companies. Now, these are not small businesses. These are great big businesses, right? These businesses come out of the S&P 500 list, which are public companies. And we have some of the women that have their top positions, right? Now, 52 out of the 500 in the S&P 500 companies are women. That is the same as 2023, right? Which is steady. Some left, some got put in. It's all the same, right? So far. But this is the highest it has been ever, which is a very good thing. Now, you may recognize some businesses that I'm gonna mention, but you may have not known that it was led by a woman. Clorox, Sherman Williams, Expedia, UPS, Best Buy, Ross Stores, Dick's Sporting Good, Foot Locker, JetBlue. And for the top paid CEO, Lisa Su with AMD. They make microchips, right? Her package is $30 million. Yes, it's not small business, but it's appreciation, right? Now, here is some of the women that are America's richest self-made billionaires. Yes, billionaires. Now, there's a list of 31 in the United States, but I'm only going to name a few, right? And some you recognize, some you don't. Like Judy Love. Who doesn't know her, right? She has gas stations in Oklahoma. So you can imagine she's from Oklahoma, gas station empire, balls, right? A billionaire. Marian Illich with Little Caesars, billionaire. Meg Whitman, eBay. Oprah Winfrey, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, right? Just to name a few. But of course, there's 31. Now, not to discriminate, the millionaires. Now, there's a little more than what we could really name here. 7 million in population, which puts it at 33% of millionaires are women, right? All women of color, right? Not all women of color, but all women. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, wherever you're from, right? 33%. Now, of course, you can check the facts on the links I put in the description or show notes if you think I'm bullshit. Um, Now, let's talk about small business, right? On this article published by Wells Fargo, women by color that have a small business. White has the most at 81%, Asian 13%, Hispanic 9%, Black at 4%. Now, it does state on the article that women of color tend to have more caregiving responsibilities than that of men and white women. They are also less likely to get capital, right? As we proceed with this episode, you will find opportunities that I will disclose later on. That, of course, that could help you out. But I will have to say that chances are greater if you are in a more diverse city, if you are a woman of color. Probably, probably not, right? But give that opportunity. depending where you're at, may affect you. The businesses that are led by women are most in, well, number one will be hair and nail, pet care, laundries, and dry cleaners. Number two, legal, bookkeeping, and consulting. Number three is office administration, staff agency, security, and surveillance systems. And fourth will be childcare, home care, mental health, and physicians, right? Let's not forget doctors do or could own their own practice. That makes them small business owners, right? Now, in another article, again published by Wells Fargo, they named the 5 states that are best for women-owned business. Start off the list. At the top will be New York. Second, North Carolina. Third, Georgia. Fourth is Florida. And fifth is California. Now, this is from, I am from California. I am from Los Angeles. And on that article, it states the most assistance could be given in the Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Anaheim area. Woo woo. That's my area, right? So I will probably say that yes, there is a lot of women owned businesses here. By far, there's probably three in every block, at least. There is a lot. A lot of women are entrepreneurial here and they're kicking ass, right? So, again, go where you think you can make it, right? If you can't make it here, then find somewhere else that you could possibly make it. But again, those are the top 5 states. I'm not saying that the other ones are really bad, but those are the top 5. Now let's touch on the subject of grants, right? So we have grant opportunities. I have this first link is uschamber.com. It is not a government website; it's a private, so please be aware of that. And they have different grants depending what you are for, or what you're doing that could qualify. They have Amazon's Black Business Accelerator Program. They have the Amber Grant Foundation, Action Opportunity Fund, right? America's Seed. Um, Depending, right? Who you are, what your business does, and they have requirements that need to, match with yours. So you may qualify, but this first link is grants for everyone. They have some for women, but it does give you 63 grants, loans, and programs to benefit for your small business, right? Second link is from Nerd Wallet. And these are all for women here. 41 small business grants, right? They have the Tory Burch Enthuse Foundation pitch, Fund Her Future, Stacy's Rise, and that is coming from Stacy's Pita Chips, right? If you haven't heard her story, she has a great story of how she created, the pita chips, right? Um, so of course, if we go back to getting capital, grants may be short-term assistance. They might help you out um, in starting, managing, or getting over a hump. But I know it's not long term, and it probably won't be a great amount. uh, Something that could really have a great impact to the business. But look into it. Maybe it can make the slightest difference, and that could change a lot, right? Because some are 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, right, or greater. And think about what equipment you could possibly buy, or what changes could you make? Can you advertise more? It depends how you use it. Could really make a difference, right? So don't discriminate grants. They are a few steps and have a process for them, but you can make it happen, right? Next one is networking and conferences. This month is Women Appreciation Month, so you could simply Google, women conferences, women, meetups, women um, networking events, whatever it is, right? And many will come out, right? I put a link for one that's an Eventbrite, and that's in Los Angeles. But of course, depending what city you're in, you could check it out and see the opportunities there. There are some specifically for black women. There's some specifically for filmmakers, for whatever it is, right? Some are free and some cost up to $200, right? Depending what they have to offer. But of course, take the opportunity, right? If you can make it happen, then go, right? But lastly, I want to connect it, right? So I know this is for small business. I gave a quick shout out to the big guys, to the big businesses out there, and know and understand that those big businesses were small at one point, maybe 40 years ago, right? But think about it, that's less than a lifetime, right? So Walmart, it was mom and pop shop. Dick's Sporting Goods was a mom and pop shop. Um, think about them, how they started, how it went, and if you wish to find out, right, there's stories about them, and you can find out more on how to make it happen. But they took risk, without a doubt, right? And they went from mom and pop, from single location to two, three, five, 10, and multiply from there, right? You could do that more than likely with your business if you choose to do so. But of course, you have to take initiative. You have to take the steps towards that. So that's where I'm tying this back to the small business. That though you're a small business, if you have enough ambition and necessity and grits and guts, you can make it happen. You could take that leap and succeed, right? But let's not forget that some of these billionaires, millionaires have inheritance money, right? So they're not or didn't put as much effort, right? Some, yes, some family members are still in the business, some others just inherited money, right? So don't get discriminated on that, work your ass off. But of course, yeah, that'll be nice to get an inheritance, but it won't happen to all of us. Let's not forget that the women's right movement was only 60 years ago. And if women started and had the same capabilities and were unrestricted, just as men did, they would be far greater, right? But unfortunately, it's not. Um, to think that the women's right movements was only 60 years ago, right? It may seem like a long time, but it truly is not. Um, if we put the timeline in 24 hours, right? The timeline of when civilization, human civilization, you know, started and compare it to 60 years, right? The 60 years is equivalent to 15.6 minutes of the 24-hour timeline, right? Just 15 minutes. So, in retrospect, that's not a lot, right? And yes, these numbers are good now, right? The CEO, the top CEO of 52, of the 500 S&P 500 companies is just now, right? 60 years after. Not like immediately things took effect and boom, we got these numbers, right? No, these are more recent. Maybe started hitting these numbers 20 years ago, right? 30 years ago. So it's unfortunate, but just wanted to share that with you. um, 24 hours in minutes is 86,400 minutes. And again, the 60 years is equivalent to 15.6 minutes of that, right? So yeah, just a little retrospect, right? Put it in perspective and time manners. But just know, understand, and realize that small changes are happening, and you can be part of it, regardless if you're young, you're middle age, or older. Um, I believe women have a strong community. Make it happen, right? Hopefully, this helped you enough, gave you some information that you could read up on. But I know there's plenty more podcasts, plenty more information of other people, right? Of other women that could give you um, an understanding of what it is for women in business, right? I can't really say, you know. But other than that, I appreciate you. Please feedback, comment, whatever you could do to help the channel, right? Share it. But appreciate you. Take care. Love y'all. Peace.